rivalry renewed here at Miller Park tonight. The Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers. It is the first matchup between these two teams, the I-94 rivalry. Ryan Braun off to a great start. He's getting ready to go. Nyjer Morgan, what an impact he's made in the first week plus of this 2011 season. And for the Cubs, Starlin Castro out to a great start, the 21-year-old shortstop. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park, Milwaukee. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder, and the Brewers and the Cubs ready to get it started all over again. And Milwaukee starting to get healthier and healthier by the day. And one guy who's been there from day one, Rock, is Ryan Braun, and what a great start he's off to this year.
Yeah, picking up right where he left off the last 6 weeks of last year. Ryan Braun, whatever he did in the offseason, he's looking great at the plate. He's driving the baseball, even in batting practice. I mean, he's hitting balls in places that you don't see balls being hit in. He's covering the plate very well, going to the opposite field. He's been very patient at the plate. Look at that batting average, .391, showing power, driving in runs, and playing pretty well in left field.
Well, a great start to a season and a historic start to a career. Ryan Braun, with a big home run season this season, can break inside the top 10 most home runs through the first 5 seasons. And look at the names on this list. Wouldn't that be something to have two teammates on the list, the top 10 most home runs through the first 5 seasons in Major League Baseball history? That's something. We're witnessing a dynamic duo here in Milwaukee for sure. On the mound tonight, it is Carlos Zambrano against Randy Wolf. We'll take a break, come back, and set up the pitching matchup when we continue on WMLW. Miller Lite, taste greatness. By Feltco. For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866-4FELTCO. And by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Kids are having some fun up in Bernie's dugout, and a big crowd expected tonight. The Brewers and the Cubs, game 1 of a 3-game weekend series. Randy Wolf gets the start for the first matchup against Chicago. See the numbers for Randy Wolf over his last 10 starts against the Cubs. And Wolf coming off a tough outing in his first outing of the season. His mound opponent, Carlos Zambrano, 3-0 over his last 11 against Milwaukee. He's always been good against the Brewers. He's always been good here at Miller Park. And welcome back from Miller Park. And Rock, an interesting pitching matchup here. Both getting their second tour on the mound in 2011. Carlos Zambrano, a much different pitcher these days than he was just a few years ago when he threw a no-hitter here.
Yeah, 08, he threw the no-hitter against the Houston Astros. Randy Wolf on the mound for the Astros. But you're right, he used to try and rear back and throw the ball by everybody, the big split-fingered fastball. But lately, he's more of a controlled pitcher. He doesn't throw as hard, 88 to 92. He doesn't throw the splitter, but he's always had good success against the Milwaukee Brewers. Randy Wolf, in his first start, he really didn't pitch all that well. It looked as though he really wasn't all that comfortable out there in the mound. He gave up a 2 spot in the second, 4 runs in the 6th, and that's all it took. Hopefully Randy's going to be able to locate that fastball away, get that cutter inside, and get back to where he was at the end of last year.
The Brewers have won 3 out of 4 on this homestand. Can they make it 4 consecutive wins? The starting pitching has been outstanding. They'd love to post a W, get back to 500, and put a win on the board against the hated Cubs. Game 1 of 3 coming up next. Stay with us. Atlanta Braves taking 3 out of 4. It was a first-inning home run by Ryan Braun, a 2-run homer. Then in the second inning, Nyjer Morgan. That's why he is getting the big ovations these days as he shook the ball free from Brian McCann. In the 6th inning, it was Morgan again, a great catch. He had a couple of defensive gems yesterday. Things got a little tight in the 8th in the final game of that series. Bases were loaded, but Alex Gonzalez grounded out. Cameron Lowe did the job, got out of the mess, and then it was John Axford in consecutive games saving the ball game for the Brewers. 2 saves for Axford and a 4-2 win yesterday over the Atlanta Braves, and a series victory 3 out of 4. And prior to the game today, Doug Melvin issuing the Silver Slugger Awards to the recipients from last year. Ryan Braun, the left fielder that won the Silver Slugger Award, and Yovani Gallardo voted on as the best hitting pitcher in the National League. That was Gallardo's first such award. So a nice moment here at Miller Park. Retro Friday here at Miller Park. See the Brewers with their old school gear on against the rival Chicago Cubs, and Randy Wolf is ready to go. Jeff Baker leads off for the Cubs. And off we go here at Miller Park, and they're still filing in what looks like is going to be a great crowd when it's all said and done. C.B. Buckner is the home plate umpire tonight. Dan Isonia, Dale Scott, and Jerry Meals on the bases. Dale Scott's the crew chief. Quickly 0-2 for Jeff Baker. And Rock, here is the Toyota lineup for the Chicago Cubs with Baker, Castro, and Bird at the top. Mike Quade has Aramis Ramirez, Giovanni Soto, Carlos Pena in the middle of the order. Pena just returning to the lineup. Alfonso Soriano, Tyler Colvin, and Carlos Zambrano rounded out. And nothing but strikes from Randy Wolf so far.
Oh, and that's the key. He had a rough start to his game in Cincinnati. He really wasn't very good with his command early on. Second inning gave up some runs. Fourth inning, that was his undoing, a 4-run fourth that he allowed. Of course, that was against a Cincinnati team that can swing the bats as well as anybody.
A strikeout for Randy Wolf. Good cut fastball in there. And one gone in the first.
And that's the key to the success for Randy Wolf. That cut fastball. If he keeps it in this location, he will have a good day. Had some tilt on it. Down and in under the bat of Jeff Baker. And let's check out the Lexus scouting report on Randy Wolf. Hey, put a 0 up in the first inning. Good start to that. Cutter in, he's already thrown one of those. And Mr. Bird has had a ton of success against Randy Wolf in his career.
Playing on the animal theme, I see.
Yeah.
Starlin Castro for the Cubs, the young shortstop. In the big leagues all last year as a 20-year-old. He just turned 21 at the end of March, and he is off to a very fast start. He has 10 hits in his first 25 at-bats. Castro with 4 multi-hit games out of the 6 the Cubs have played. And Chicago comes into this game with a 3-3 record. A series loss to the Pirates at Wrigley Field, and then a series win against the Arizona Diamondbacks for Mike Quade. Still a little strange to look down at that Cubs dugout and not see Lou Piniella, but Quade did a nice job taking over for Piniella last season, and it was on the strength of the success of the team under Quade that really earned him the respect of the players, which earned him the job full time this year. Casey McGee, 2 outs.
And you got to tip your hat to the Cubs organization for giving Quade an opportunity. The guys, responded to what he wanted to do. Kind of made him accountable in September, and because of that, he got the contract. Good play by Casey to get Castro at first.
Here's how the Brewers line up defensively behind Wolf. It is brought to you by Menards with Braun, Gomez, and Morgan in the outfield. McGee, Betancourt, Weeks, and Fielder around the horn. Kataris catches Randy Wolf. Similar battery as to last year. Kataris ended up as Wolf's personal catcher. Bird goes to right and continues that success. That's going to be an extra base hit. Rock, you pointed it out in your scouting report. This is a guy that has given Randy Wolf a lot of trouble throughout his career.
Well, now 4 for 8 with a couple of home runs. A small sample size, only 8 at bats, but as you can see, Marlon Bird able to take that high fastball and shoot it down the line and right. I mean, it was on the plate. It had a very good, well located, but up in the zone, and Marlon Bird able to go right with it. He's a good hitter. I mean, just a good, solid hitter. And one of the big keys to this offense for the Chicago Cubs this year.
There aren't a lot of guys that go up there and on the first pitch they're looking to drive the ball to the opposite field. Bird's one of those guys with that great approach, as Aramis Ramirez will hit. Was another Ramirez in the headlines today in Major League Baseball. Manny Ramirez retiring from baseball after nearly 2 decades in the game, amidst allegations of a positive drug test, a performance enhancing drug test that was given him this spring. So Manny Ramirez takes over the headlines today in baseball. See the numbers on Manny Ramirez, his career, .312 hitter. The numbers speak for themselves, but what looks like 2 positive tests. It'll be very interesting in 5 years to see.
Yeah, I mean,
Ramos, or rather, Manny Ramirez is headed to the Hall of Fame.
If history is any indication, that's going to keep him out. I mean, the folks that vote on that have been pretty consistent, and you get the allegations like that, you will not get into the Hall of Fame. He certainly has the numbers, though.
So the headline says Ramirez retires, and everybody goes to Ramos and says, what's the deal? No, I'm still here, Ramos says. And still a weapon in this Cubs lineup. Has a home run, 2 runs batted in. He's 7 for 21 so far on the season. And a base runner in scoring position in Bird. 2-2.
Got to keep the ball down. Got to keep it away from Ramirez. You know, that cut fastball from Randy is a dangerous pitch against Ramirez. You get it down and in, you'll get him. But if you leave it up out over the plate, he'll knock it out of here. Loves the ball inside.
Ooh, it just missed. A little flinch back there from the home plate umpire, but Wolf trying to thread the needle a little bit inside, according to C.B. Buckner.
You can't throw it much better than that. If it missed, it was maybe by a half an inch.
Full count, runner at second with 2 gone. And he missed again, ball 4. So with 2 outs, a double and a walk, and 2 men are on for Giovanni Soto. Take you back to the 2-2 pitch.
A four-seamer right on the inside corner. Might have been off the corner, and it looked as though it was. Good call by Buckner. Then Wolfie goes with the cut fastball and missed down and in.
2 on, 2 out. Soto is back and healthy. Had shoulder surgery this offseason. Limited to just 105 games last year. Former National League Rookie of the Year back in 2008. Won that award over Joey Votto, narrowly edging the Reds rookie at the time. Of course, Votto has gone on to win an MVP. Soto has been hampered by shoulder problems.
And at the time, Soto, I believe, was deserving of that Rookie of the Year award. And the fact that he was on a playoff team and he was catching every day, and you got to take into consideration, playing every day behind home plate. It's more of a 2-pronged importance, calling a game, defense, and swinging the bat. It was well deserved.
Like Marlon Byrd, Soto has good numbers against Randy Wolf. Batting average over 300. There's a strike inside corner, 2-1. First of a 3-game series beginning tonight against the Cubs. A sellout tomorrow. There are some tickets available Sunday if you want to make plans to join us. We'd love to have you. 2-2. Cubs begin a long road trip here tonight. All 6 of their games at this point have been at Wrigley Field. But they start a trip that'll take them to 3 cities, a 9-gamer. Soto gets jammed. Fielder wants it. And a good start for Randy Wolf. Scoreless first. Here come the Brewers to bat against Carlos Zambrano. games of the year, but now the Brewers have won 3 straight, trying to make it 4 in a row here tonight against the Cubs. And this is Ron Renicke's Toyota batting order tonight. Ricky Weeks, Carlos Gomez, and Ryan Braun at the top. You've got Fielder, McGee, and Betancourt in the middle. Nigel Morgan back in the starting lineup. George Kataris and Randy Wolf. 4 lefties in the lineup, and a string of 3 in a row at the bottom. And it's Carlos Zambrano tonight, Rock, the Lexus scouting report.
Yeah, we talked about it on the broadcast open. He's more of a control pitcher now, 88 to 92, sinker, slider, cutter. Really doesn't throw many of those split-fingered fastballs. He's been very good here in Milwaukee. He's 6 in a row in his last 7 starts. ERA under 2, and he can swing the bat. You can see the numbers: 21 home runs and 64 RBIs in his career.
Zambrano against Ricky Weeks. Well, Ricky with 3 home runs, 5 RBIs. You see the batting average at 276. That is 8 hits and 29 at-bats. Numbers don't really show for Weeks. He's actually had a good homestand. He's swung the bat well. A number of line drive outs. I think Ricky is pleased with the way he's swinging the bat right now. I know his manager is. What a threat at the top of the order in Weeks. Already with 2 leadoff home runs this year. The Brewers have their speed outfield in there tonight with Gomez and Morgan both getting the start.
The Brewers have been showing a lot of speed on the bases, a lot of plays at the plate so far this year, both in Cincinnati and a ton of them in that 4-game series against the Braves.
I got a 5 count on plays at the plate for the Brewers.
I know, a lot of collisions. Boy, you love to see that kind of intensity.
Full count to Weeks. Cubs failed to score the top of the first. Wolf gave up a hit and a walk. Stranded 2 Cubs on base. Got him with a slider. A 3-2 breaking ball from Carlos Zambrano. It comes all the way back to strikeout Weeks.
Yep, a slider at 78 miles an hour. Velocity considerably down from years past for Zambrano.
Here's how the Cubs line up defensively with Soriano, Bird, and Tyler Colvin in the outfield. You've got Ramirez, Castro, Baker, and Pena around the horn. Carlos Pena, big free agent acquisition for the Cubs this offseason. And the battery of Soto and Zambrano as Gomez sends one to left. Will not carry. Soriano makes the catch for out number 2. Well, Rock touched on the numbers for Carlos Zambrano at Miller Park. He's won 6 of his last 7 at this ballpark. And of course that includes the no-hitter back September of 08. And he's getting a ton of run support as well. The Cubs seem to score a lot of runs here for Zambrano at Miller Park.
Yeah, almost 7 a game. And when you consider he's got an ERA just under 2, that's why he's been so good here. It's just an example of a guy as he gets a little bit older. He's in his 11th year, learning how to pitch a little bit more. Not a thrower, more of a pitcher now.
Well, the opponent batting average tells a great story. 153. That's it from the opposition. So not only Zambrano stingy here, but he's winning games as well with the run support. Matter of fact, the no-hitter was against the Houston Astros here at Miller Park back in 2008. Randy Wolf was on the mound for Houston that night. Ties up Braun.
How about that pitch? 82 miles an hour. Looked like a splitter, but we have been told that he's not throwing as many these days. Not sure what that was. Had some big sink on it. There it is. Yep.
Look out up there. Braun, an emergency hack to stay alive. Hopefully everybody's okay. He's good.
Yeah, that looked more like a forkball than it did a split-fingered fastball. Splitter is a lot faster. More velocity than 82 miles an hour. Boy, it had some big-time movement going down as it got to Ryan.
Here's the 2-2. And Braun strikes out. Zambrano, a good start for the Cubs here. 3 up, 3 down with 2 Ks. They're howling away tonight. The Wolf Pack well represented here as Randy Wolf is on the mound for the Brew Crew. Something that began in Philadelphia when Wolf was pitching for the Phillies. Second inning, no score. Zambrano, a 3 up, 3 down first. Wolf gave up a double and a walk, but a scoreless first inning facing Carlos Pena, who is just returning to the Cubs lineup. Pena has been out for 2 games, which gave him 3 days off with the off day yesterday, and he's got a sprain on his right thumb. A big home run threat. He's not going to hit for a high average. At least his career record wouldn't show a high average, but a guy who can hit a ton of home runs. And you better believe he's going to enjoy a summer at Wrigley Field with the wind blowing out.
Yeah, 46 home runs for the Rays in 07. 39 in 09. But hit under 200 last year for Tampa.
And he'll do that a great deal as Wolf strikes him out on the slow curveball. Second strikeout for Randy Wolf.
Yeah, 28 home runs last year for the Rays and a 196 batting average. That's not something you see much. How about that curveball? Dandy. Straight over the top and well located off the outside corner. Hey, take the Brewers with you wherever you go this season. Subscribe to MLB.tv today to see every Brewers game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Brewers.com to order.
One gone for Alfonso Soriano, now hitting 7th in this Cubs lineup. He's been up and down this lineup, but with each manager that comes along, he drops at least a spot or 2. Remember, he hit 6th under Lou Piniella most of the time.
Well, it just doesn't have the on-base percentage to be at the top of the order anymore. It's been a good career for Soriano. Started at second base, moved to the outfield when he was a member of the Nationals. Didn't want to do it, but ended up going out there.
How about that? Back to the slow curve, and Soriano a strikeout victim. And Brewers fans love that.
No, that's a good pitch, and it shows that Wolfie's got some confidence working for him tonight. Taking an awful lot off that curveball, and you have to make sure it's down when you do that. Down and away, and Soriano just waves at it. Good pitch.
2 strikeouts on the slow curveball. Many call it a curve ball because of the combination of changeup and curve. It acts like a change of pace. It's such a slow pitch, but it has that curveball spin. I've seen Wolf use that pitch a great deal early in a count to get ahead of a hitter. But tonight, at least in this inning, he's using it as a strikeout pitch.
It's hard to get that kind of spin on it and movement when it's that slow. But for whatever reason, Wolfie's able to do it.
On the ground, well positioned. Betancourt right there. And the speedy Colvin is cut down. 3 up, 3 down inning with a pair of Ks for Randy Wolf. By Usingers in baseball. It's just not summer without them. And by Steinhoffels, Wisconsin's #1 furniture and mattress store since 1934. Never know what you're going to see at the old ballpark. Roof is closed. Temperatures outside in the low 40s. What a great night for baseball indoors, though. Great to have you with us tonight on WMLW. And we're off and running here, the Cubs and the Brewers. First of a 3-game series. Prince Fielder leads off in the second. Zambrano 3 up, 3 down first. Always flashbulbs popping everywhere when Fielder comes to the plate. Now, we chronicled Zambrano's success against Milwaukee, but Prince Fielder has flipped that a bit. He has big numbers against Zambrano.
Yeah, 14 for 41, 14 walks in there, and a couple of home runs.
A .341 batting average. Fielder still looking for his first home run of the season, but 4 runs batted in the Atlanta series.
Yeah, 2 hitters in the Brewers lineup tonight that have had the most success against Zambrano, Prince and Nyjer Morgan.
Seems like Nyjer Morgan has a lot of success against everybody the Brewers have faced lately.
Yeah, that's why he's in there. Well, he's off to a nice start to his Brewers career.
Fielder, that just might do it. Back is Bird, looks up, there she goes. #1 for Prince Fielder. His 100th career home run at Miller Park, the most by any player. And he puts the Brewers on the board 1-0 in the second inning.
Boy, waited back nicely on that off-speed pitch, that fork ball, split-fingered fastball, whatever it is. Watch Prince wait back. Left it up in the zone and knocked it on out of here to the opposite field. I tell you, Prince is seeing the ball well right now. Look at the extension, high finish, and see you later into left center. Supplying all the power on that. That was only 83 miles an hour from Zambrano. Third home run against Zambrano.
And his first of 2011. What a homestand he's having. Already 5 runs batted in. His first home run.
There it is. You see the index finger and the middle finger split apart. Doesn't look like it's as much as he used to have them split apart. That's why the velocity's not there.
Just using it as a change of pace.
Yeah.
The old fork ball. There's the list we were talking about. Prince Fielder, the most home runs in a career at this venue, celebrating the 10th anniversary of Miller Park. 100 home runs. As Casey McGee draws the walk. A good start to the second inning. After Fielder's home run, Zambrano walks the former Cub, Casey McGee.
That's been the one big problem that Zambrano's had throughout his career, has been the walks. Big strikeout totals, but he's also had big walk totals as well. He walked more than 100 batters in 2 consecutive years, 05 and 06.
Yudesky Betancourt. Now Betancourt coming to the Brewers from the Kansas City Royals. He's been told a lot about this rivalry between the Cubs and the Brewers. But it's something you have to immerse yourself into to really fully appreciate it. And he's getting his first chance at it tonight. Ron Renicky said as much. Everybody wanted to talk about the rivalry between these two teams during the media session before the game, and Renicky was honest. He said, I haven't been a part of it.
Yeah.
Let me soak it up one day.
I think it's more for the fans than it is for the players. I think the players see it as another game. The one thing that the Brewer players and the Cub players will tell you, the influx of Cub fans historically here at Miller Park has affected the Brewer players a bit, and a little bit vice versa, all the Brewers fans in Wrigley Field. But they're so close together, you would expect that.
Sure, 90 miles apart. One ball, 2 strikes on the Brewers shortstop, Betancourt. McGee over at first. And the count evens at 2-2. Betancourt is 4 for 22 on the season. All 4 of those hits coming on this homestand. Hitting coach Dale Swain with a key eye on his shortstop at the plate. That one's hit hard down the right field line, slicing foul. That's a pretty good power to the opposite field for Betancourt. Just a little late, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, we saw that from him in spring training. Very good gap power to right center. He's pretty well put together. Not real tall, but I tell you, he's put together pretty well. We saw him drive some baseballs, and could expect some home runs out of Betancourt this year.
Led the Royals last year in home runs and runs batted in a pitcher-friendly ballpark in Kansas City. Hit hard, base hit left field. So Betancourt down 0-2, worked the count even and delivers with a single, the second hit of the inning. And here comes Nyjer Morgan, and what an impact he has had on this club in a very short amount of time.
Now started out as a utility player. Every time Ron Renicky put him in there, he did something to help the team win. Put a little bit of life into the offense and on the bases. And yeah, he can play some defense. Very fast. He gets good jump on the baseball and plays hitters pretty well.
Gets a nice hand on his way up to the plate. The career numbers against Zambrano, Rock was referencing a moment ago. 2 on. Morgan drops a bunt down. Zambrano to first quickly and makes the play. That was a tremendous play by Zambrano. Any hesitation at all, and Morgan is going to beat that out.
Yeah, he's a good athlete. Nice bunt by Nigel Morgan. Yeah, first and second, nobody out. You're getting to the bottom of the order. I'm not sure if he did that on his own or it was called from the bench. Second and third, now 1 out. Well executed by Morgan. Whoever decided to drop down the bunt.
Well, it's part of his game anyway. He can beat out a number of those bunts. Works as a sacrifice, and now George Kataris has a chance to drive in a run.
But you're right. That was a heck of a play by Zambrano. He barehanded it in all in one motion. Really didn't set himself. Just kind of sidearmed it over to first.
I think if he sets his feet and winds up, he's not going to get Morgan. Morgan bunted just the other day against the Braves in a similar situation, and we talked to Ron Renicky about it after the game. He said he likes that every time for Morgan, even batting in the 7th spot to move the runners over, especially the way the Brewer pitchers swing the bat. And here you go. It's going to deliver a run. Kataris grounds out, but scoring is McGee. And it's 2-0 Milwaukee as they play a little small ball here in the second inning.
Some situational hitting for the Brewers. Well done. Drop down the bunt. The infield's back. First and second, 1 out. And a 2-hopper to second, scores another one. Boy, I love that. You love to see that. You're not always going to get the home runs. You got to be able to drive in the runs, especially with a guy that's had the success that Zambrano's had in this ballpark. Take advantage of the opportunities that you get.
Randy Wolf squares to bunt. Hey, Nigel Morgan is contagious. Even the pitchers think they can bunt for a hit.
Randy handles the bat pretty well. Just push it over to second base, run a little bit, driving a run.
Wolf has a hit this year in his only at bat. As a matter of fact, among active pitchers, Randy Wolf and Carlos Zambrano are in the top 4. Wolf is second behind Dan Herron for the most hits going back to the 09 season.
Now the fact that Wolf swings the bat so well might have, prompted the Brewers to have Morgan drop down a bunt to get that extra bat in the lineup.
Randy Wolf has 31 hits going back to 09. Then Zambrano 4th, and Giovanni Gallardo on the list as well. Gallardo will be on the mound and at the plate Sunday for the series finale. There's that list.
I don't think Dan Herron's going to add to his total this year too much.
Pitching in the American League. Ball 3 to Randy Wolf. So the count is full. And Zambrano will give Wolf something to hit here. Two runs are in. Fielder's home run and George Kataris an RBI groundout. Got him. Zambrano strikes him out. The inning over, but the big fella back in action. Home run number 1 of the season.
because I can focus all on the team, and it kind of keeps the whole free agency kind of where it should be, which is in the off season. So.
Yeah, comments from Prince Fielder.
Yeah, Prince has been in a fabulous mood all spring. He's been a pleasure to be around, and I'll tell you, he's still Prince Fielder. Whether he was happy last year or whatever. I mean, he's always a fan favorite in stretching for the players.
Zambrano, a bouncer out to Betancourt. And Randy Wolf has one away. How'd you like Prince's hat in that piece? Did you get the reference?
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
The Charlie Sheen reference.
Yeah.
That was a spring training, kind of a fun thing. Fielder brought a box of hats for everyone. Check it out.
There it is.
Winning. At any point throughout spring training, you could walk into the Brewers clubhouse and you would hear that phrase.
I hope that phrase works out better for the Brewers than it has for Charlie.
Exactly. Huh. But it does speak to the fun-loving nature of Prince Fielder.
Right.
He brings a box of hats that has some pop culture references on there, and guys had a good time with it.
The atmosphere around this ball club from the first day of spring training until today has been unlike I've ever seen any team around here before. Even when they had lost 4 in a row, it didn't change.
There's a base hit. Jeff Baker singles to right. And the Cubs have a base runner with one away.
And some of the additions to the pitching staff, I'm sure, have helped in that regard. Ron Renicky, Prince Fielder, said that he loves the manager. Manager, demands the accountability. Those two guys in the offseason, those two signings helped morale a little bit. Zach Greinke, he's doing well. Won't be long before he's out on the mound.
Greinke threw a bullpen there next to Sean Markham, who picked up the win yesterday. First Brewers win for Sean Markham, went 6 innings, 2 runs. Greinke threw a bullpen yesterday, and those who saw it said he probably could have thrown a no-hitter in the big leagues with the stuff that he showed yesterday, and came back today and threw off flat ground. So the Brewers manager said before the game that he is progressing a lot faster than he expected. And that one's going to sneak through, a base hit. Wolf pulled the glove back. I think he thought Betancourt was going to be there to start a double play. Started Castro with a single.
He was shaded a little bit more in the hole than he would ordinarily, thinking that Wolf was going to attack him with the cutter. You can see how far he is from second base. Not your typical double play depth. Had he been in regular double play depth, it might have been a double play.
I think one thing that has shown itself early here is the volume of maneuvering defensively. I mean, you can go through a lineup, and now we've seen it with the Reds, the Braves, and the Cubs, and there's a constant shifting of defenders for Ron Renicky, who is a stickler on video scouting, spray charts, and just these subtle movements here or there. And I think it takes a little getting used to, because what looks like a routine ground ball off the bat ends up as a base hit. And you're saying, why is Betancourt not there? But you see how far he was in the hole.
Yeah, there's no straight up for the Brewers. I mean, they're going to tweak the infield positioning ever so slightly for every hitter that comes up.
Chipper Jones had a similar base hit in that last series.
Chris Bosio does the advanced Major League Scouting for the Brewers. He was in Chicago over the weekend, or I should say during the week, checking out how these hitters were swinging the bat, how the pitchers were throwing the baseball, tendencies, and that goes into the positioning as well. What's the guy doing right now?
Two on with one out, and Bird sounded like he broke his back. No balls and 2 strikes, and Marlon Bird is on his way back for a new piece of lumber.
That cutter in on his hands. You remember Wolf threw him a fastball away that Bird rifled down the right field line.
We're talking about Zach Greinke. This is what Zach Greinke looks like throwing a baseball. Many of you have not seen that. But this was just a light toss after his bullpen session yesterday.
Yeah, he's got to be ready to get out on the mound. He's got to be going crazy at this point. I know everybody around here is excited to see him get on the mound.
I thought the best line came from Stan Kiles, who's the bullpen coach. He's been catching Greinke on flat ground, just standing out there in the grass, 60 feet away. And he said after his last flat ground session, Greinke's too much for him. It's time for Marcus Hanel to come in, the bullpen catcher. Here's a chance for two. Nice easy hop. Weeks the flip. And the turn in time. 6-4-3 double play. The Brewers turn 2 and get out of the third. Big crowd on hand tonight at Miller Park. Friday night baseball, the first weekend series of the 2011 baseball season. Zambrano back on the mound. He surrendered 2 runs in the second inning. And a 2-0 Milwaukee lead as we play in the bottom of the third. Top of the order coming up. Weeks takes strike 1. Weeks a strikeout victim his last time up, after working it to a full count.
Kind of strange watching Carlos Zambrano out there with pitch speeds of 78 to 88 miles an hour. I don't think he's hit 90 yet tonight. A few years ago he was 95, 96 with a fastball, everything hard. Doing it much differently these days.
Slow roller. This is Ramirez in time to get Weeks. Let's take you back to that second inning, the run producing inning for the Brewers, and it was a little bit of power. First home run from Prince Fielder of the season, and then a little finesse by the Brewers in the second.
Yep, a walk, a hit, a sacrifice bunt by Nyjer Morgan. Right there, getting runners at second and third. I think the bunt was dropped down because of the ability of Randy Wolf to swing the bat, and George Kottaras able to get the ground ball to the infield back and score another one.
And a 2-run second inning with 2 hits. Carlos Gomez flew out to left field in the first inning. And a good cut. Ball and a strike on Gomez. A couple of bunt hits yesterday for Carlos Gomez. Yeah, Ron Renicky hoping that is going to be a bigger part of his game moving forward. Squared that time. Takes a ball.
Any way on if you're Carlos Gomez. Men on base in front of Ryan and Prince. Doesn't matter how.
There's a base hit. And Gomez is aboard. Now that's the approach we saw a lot of from Carlos Gomez during spring training.
Every day in batting practice, that's the direction that Gomez is trying to shoot for. Up the middle into the opposite field. Sometimes in a game he gets a little excited and pulls off the baseball. That's going to happen, but this is what Dale Swain wants to see. And a fastball out away from him, just takes it to the opposite field. You can see the way he's able to let the ball travel just a little bit right off the front of the plate. That's why he's able to drive it to right field, not out in front of it.
Not so jumpy. So a base hit, and now Braun bats with Gomez at first. Gomez always a threat to steal. And so far this year, Braun's been good about giving Gomez an opportunity to run when he's been on. Gomez caught just 3 times last year. Stole 18.
Zambrano can be quick to the plate. He's got a high leg kick. He's also got the slide step. And with a guy like Gomez out there, you know, just about every time he's going to try and be as quick as he can. Soto throws pretty well.
Yeah, Giovanni Soto, one of the best throwing catchers in the National League. There's that quick move by Zambrano. That's the best move he has.
Sliding to the outside part of the bag, making the tag a little bit longer.
Big lead over there. That's close. He got him. Gomez picked off. And does not agree with a call from Dan Iasonia. Garth Orge, the first base coach, arguing as well.
Oh, some quick feet from Zambrano. Check it out. That's almost a balk right there. That looks like a pretty good call. It looks as though the upper body is moving before the back leg steps off. I mean, that's close to a balk.
Second out of the inning. Braun's having a tough time squaring up Zambrano. Another look.
What moves first? I mean, I don't think that back foot moves before the body starts to pivot over to first. That was a balk. Very rarely called, though.
0-2 to Braun. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Watch the back foot, the back heel. Does it move first? I doubt it. I don't think so. Watch the shoulders and then the leg. Can't do that. That's a balk. Now the base runners will tell you that the first thing that they look at is the back heel on the pitching rubber. If anything moves other than that back heel, pitcher has to go home. If the back heel comes up, they got to go to first. That's why that balk move by Zambrano is a good one. And if it's not called, he's going to continue to do it.
Well, could be a big out early. Instead of 1 out and a runner at first, 2 gone now. Base is clean. And a 3-2 to Braun. He's down and out. Braun draws the walk. So Ryan Braun is aboard for Fielder, who went to the opposite field with a home run his last time up. To the back of the bullpen. His 3rd career home run against Carlos Zambrano. And his first of the season.
Starting to bunch up those RBIs in this homestand.
All 5 of his RBIs this season during this 5-game stretch at home. Fielder's name is all over the Brewers record books in a lot of categories, including that one. Chased one.
Fastball up in his eyes, only 88 miles an hour. Certainly a pitch that, you know, if he stays up there, Brewer hitters are going to be able to get on top of 88.
That one's hit pretty well. Back is Soriano with room. Inning is over. Brewers got a hit. Failed to score. It's 2-0 Brew Crew. Goes deep to start the second inning. His first home run of the season. McGee then walked, and then after a sacrifice bunt by Nigel Morgan, George Gutaris an RBI with a ground out. The 2 runs for the Brewers in the second. That's where we sit. 2-0 Milwaukee leading the Cubs, and Randy Wolf with 3 scoreless thus far, has a walk and 3 strikeouts. Gave up a double in the first inning, back-to-back singles last inning. And facing Aramis Ramirez, who comes out of his shoes.
Likes the baseball up in the zone. He likes it middle in. Doesn't get cheated up there. Now getting back to that last fly ball from Prince. That was another one of those high fastballs from Zambrano. That time Prince just missed it. You throw around 88 to 90 miles an hour, you start living up around the letters, you're going to get hurt. Back in the old days, he could get away with that.
Popped him up. Fielder looking for some help, and that's going to fall. Boy, that ball's got to be caught. Fielder was drifting back. I think he was waiting on Weeks to call him off. And it falls, and we'll see how they score that. I assume it'll be a base hit, but certainly a ball that should have been caught.
And nobody touched it. Ricky Weeks was shaded up the middle with Ramirez because he likes to pull the baseball, and Ricky just flat misjudged it. Somebody got to catch it. Ricky's calling it, and he just missed it. And Aramis Ramirez, in typical style, is at first base. I mean, no excuse why a major leaguer is not at second base on that ball. That's just lack of hustle, big time.
That's an E4 on Weeks. But for so many reasons as well. I mean, not just because you're playing a kid's game. You should always hustle. But for the team perspective, you make it to second on a pop-up like that. You stay out of the double play opportunity. You get in scoring position.
Absolutely no reason why you can't run.
That one's hit hard, way back. That one is going to fly out of here. Giovanni Soto in a dead center. And just like that, we're all tied up here in the 4th inning. That was a rocket off the bat of Soto.
Well, first pitch fastball, and Soto got one out over the plate. Supposed to be on the corner. Watch it. Up, caught too much of the plate, and Soto hammers it into center field. He got all that one. So it didn't really matter whether Ramirez was at second or first. He was able to score. And we're all tied up.
Soto's first home run of the season. And a 2-2 ball game. By the way, that error by Weeks, the first error on the homestand for the Brewers. 4 error-free games here to start the homestand, and only the second error of the season. Check that, the 3rd error of the season.
That's 2 rough errors for Ricky Weeks this year. Remember the first one? That backhand up the middle. He had to be quick. He kind of jumped and threw it. Gave Prince a long hop, and he missed it. I think that was in Cincinnati. And now this one.
Weeks has 2 errors. Betancourt with 1, representing the 3 errors this year.
Ricky with 2, and very easy could have had none.
Carlos Pena, a strikeout victim his last time up. Pena found a home in Tampa Bay with the Rays. Came up with the Rangers originally. Bounced around a little bit, went to Oakland, Detroit. That one is hit well down the left field line, slicing, foul. Oh, some kind of power from Carlos Pena on a foul ball. Hey, this Sunday night at 10:30, you can enjoy Steve Martin and John Candy in the comedy classic Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. Sunday night at 10:30 here on WMLW.
I'll be watching that. That's one of my favorites.
That's not a pillow.
So the shower curtain rings as earrings. I love that. John Candy, very resourceful.
That's a great movie. Got him. Wolf strikes him out. Went with a fastball that time. And the second time he's punched out Carlos Pena.
A very streaky hitter, Carlos Pena. You can pitch to him when he's not seeing it all that well. He can look bad at the plate, but you don't want to be around when he's hot. He can carry a team for a while.
First out of the inning. And it's Soriano. Soriano struck out in the second. Most hitters in the major leagues stand deep in the box. Soriano has always been up in front of the box. That long swing.
He uses one of the longest bats in all of baseball. Right on top of the plate. That's a big bat right there. 35, 36 inches. Hands right over the inside corner.
Slapped into left field. Braun will watch it bounce. A base hit. And a single for Soriano.
And it stands right on top of home plate. He's got that big, long, heavy bat and able to get the hands through and knock that one into left. Fastball in. Ordinarily, he likes the ball down and in if it's in.
So a base runner with 1 away, and it's Tyler Colvin. Colvin started at first base for the Cubs on Wednesday against Arizona. Pena was out with the injury. An excellent outfielder. Colvin in right field, his most comfortable position here tonight. We've seen him play left, a little bit of center field. There's that slow curveball from Randy Wolf.
Tyler Colvin, born in Augusta, Georgia. It's kind of a popular place right now. And a good breaking pitch down and away by Randy Wolf.
He's a Clemson Tiger.
Yeah.
Just like Bill Schroeder. Born in Augusta, Georgia, but went to high school in North Augusta, South Carolina. Don't be confused.
It's made across the border.
Oh, dropped down 3/4. Didn't get the call, and count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wolf wanted that pitch. But if anybody understands how hard it is to be a major league umpire, it's Randy Wolf. His brother Jim is a major league umpire.
I think they talk about their strike zones and at Christmas.
I'm sure Jim, the older brother, says, Randy, don't stand out there and complain and whine at the umpires. Just take it like a man and keep pitching.
We'll call it if it's a strike. Most of the time, anyway.
You'll never see Jim Wolf umpire behind the plate with Randy Wolf on the mound. Swing and a miss. He got him. Wolf strikes out Colvin. Strikeout number 5 for Randy Wolf.
Yep, good cutter. Got Colvin out in front. Check it out. 3-4 inches off the corner. Started out right on the edge. Good pitch.
Carlos Zambrano now. Normally you get to 2 outs and the pitcher coming up, you feel like you're headed to the end of the inning, but not the case with Zambrano. He is a weapon at the plate. The strikeouts are racking up for Randy Wolf. Carlos Zambrano has 21 career home runs. Franchise leader for the Cubs by a great deal. There's a big swing and a miss. Second on that list, Fergie Jenkins, great hitting pitcher in his day, and he had 13 career home runs. We saw Giovanni Gallardo receive the Silver Slugger Award before the game tonight. Best hitting pitcher in the National League, voted on last year. Zambrano has a few of those in his trophy case.
He missed a month last year. Remember, he was on the restricted list. Little altercation with Derek Lee in the dugout. Zambrano was asked to remove himself from the club for about a month. Came back and pitched much better in September.
After anger management sessions. Derek Lee is with the Orioles now, the red-hot Baltimore Orioles, who are off to a 5-1 start. Lee homered yesterday. A foul tip in and out of the glove of Kataris.
Yeah, Buck Showalter is doing a pretty good job over there in Baltimore, isn't he? They played pretty well in September last year and off to a good start this year.
The American League East flip-flop. The Red Sox finally won. They won their first of the season after an 0-6 start. Boston beat the Yankees today in their home opener at Fenway. Tampa Bay Rays still without a victory. Full count to Zambrano. Check on Soriano at first. Zambrano has won 3 Silver Slugger Awards. 06, 08, and 09. That's hit hard. Base hit left field. And the Cubs with 4 hits in the inning. Check it, 3 hits in the inning and an error. And 2 men are on now with 2 out.
Hey, sign up for Brewers checking at Associated Bank and receive a signed Ryan Braun baseball. Limited time offer for new customers. Minimum deposit of $100. Some restrictions apply. Visit AssociatedWithSports.com for information.
Zambrano 1 for 2. And 2 men aboard back to the top of the order. And Jeff Baker, who singled to right his last time up. The Cubs have 6 hits already. Soto's 2-run homer tied the game. Looks pretty excited about it. Baker's been splitting time at second base with Darwin Barney. Which is why he has only 12 at-bats this year. He's 4 for 12 at the plate.
With Barney off to a good start, hitting over 300 so far.
No longer the LSU connection in Chicago. Ryan Theriot, who is now with the Cardinals, and Mike Fontenot, the Giants.
The Brewers don't mind that. Those two used to have pretty good success against Milwaukee.
1 ball, 1 strike. 2 on, 2 out. And Baker hits one high in the air to left field. This could be trouble. Braun is back, and he's out of room. 3-run home run. Boy, it has fallen apart here for Randy Wolf in the 4th inning. The 2nd home run of the inning. And 5 runs are in.
Yeah, the big inning hurt him in Cincinnati. The error to start the inning, that's never a good way to start any inning. All 3 of these runs will be unearned, but it really doesn't matter to Randy Wolf. A fastball right down the middle up in the zone. And Baker didn't get all of it. You don't have to in this ballpark. A little bit down on the trademark. And knocked it out of here. 5 runs in the 4th.
Two Cubs, and down to the dirt to Starlin Castro. Castro, the 8th batter of the inning, over to McGee. Side retired. Big damage done, though, for the Chicago Cubs. They get a couple of home runs. Giovanni Soto, a 2-run shot. Jeff Baker, a 3-run home run. Two Cubs with home runs in the fourth. Jeff Baker on the right and Giovanni Soto on the left. And a 5-run inning. 5-2 Chicago as we go to the bottom of the fourth now. Brewers coming up. It'll be McGee to start it. Casey McGee, Yuniesky, Betancourt, and Nyjer Morgan here in the fourth inning. McGee walked his last time up. He was eventually plated by Kataris on a ground ball out. 2-run second inning for Milwaukee. See Soto trying to settle down Carlos Zambrano, slow him down a little bit. And a breaking ball missed. So 3 balls, 2 strikes on McGee.
Yeah, keeping his cool has always been an issue for Zambrano. No telling how good he could have been throughout his career.
Got him in the corner. Painted the outside corner with a fastball and 1 gone.
Nice.
The junior announcer delivering for Uni B.
But you know, that intensity that Zambrano exhibits on a every time he goes out there is a tough thing to try and manage if you're an organization. I mean, that's what makes him good, but then again, that's what has him have those blow up innings and blow up outings. He just can't control his emotions. Not just on the mound, but in the clubhouse and in the dugout.
Betancourt down the left field line. Soriano lays out, and the ball pops out. And Betancourt has to retreat to first. So that'll go as a base hit. Great effort out there by Soriano. But the ball just popped out of his glove.
Yeah, when he hit the ground and fell on top of the baseball, that's when it got jarred loose. He has it here, but then he hits it with his chest and knocks it loose. So Betancourt able to get his single to left. Good effort by Soriano.
A man on for Nyjer Morgan. Morgan with a sacrifice bunt his last time up. Set up the second Brewers run. Zambrano's thrown a lot of pitches already. Only in the fourth he has 66 pitches at this point. A lot of deep counts. The Brewers have 2 runs on 4 hits.
And not a very good ball to strike ratio right there. 28 balls, 38 strikes.
Down the line, foul. 2 balls and a strike on Morgan. A late spring training trade with the Washington Nationals brought Nyjer Morgan to the Brewers. Brewers traded away Cutter Dykstra, son of Len Dykstra, minor league infielder.
Been proved to be a very good deal for Milwaukee.
2 deals right at the end of camp that could come up big for Milwaukee. Haven't seen the results of the other yet, but Sergio Mitre was acquired from the Yankees. Chris Dickerson fills a much needed role in that bullpen. That's a strike. Morgan thought he had ball 4. Flipped the bat away. Count goes to 3-2. C.B. Buckner can only smile.
Ball's high.
Wow.
That ball's high. C.B. Buckner got to get another look at that pitch.
Runner goes. Morgan, line drive, center field. It's down, a base hit. Betancourt on his way to third. And the Brewers work the hit and run, or maybe the run and hit in this case, as Morgan delivers again.
Yep, 3-2 count. It was a straight steal, and that's because Morgan puts the bat on the baseball pretty well. Doesn't strike out much. Fastball, look at that cutter that might have been going in on his hands. And Nigel able to pull the hands in and shoot it into center field. Hey, you'd rather have a hit than a walk anyway. And Betancourt able to get to third.
Well, he has been rejuvenated here in Milwaukee. He was the odd man out for the Washington Nationals. Never really been a part of a team that is considered a pennant contender. And it has given him new life.
Well, he was a good player in Pittsburgh and a good player in Washington, and for whatever reason they decided to let him go, and the Brewers are very happy that they have him because Corey Hart is still on the disabled list.
First and third with 1 out. Here's George Kataris. Quick visit to the mound. We'll check on Zambrano. See if Kataris can do some damage here. The pitcher Wolf is coming up next. As Kataris into the opposite field. This will be deep enough to score the run. Betancourt tags. The throw goes to second base. And Kataris has another run batted in. It is 5-3 Cubs. Good situational hitting by the Brewers so far tonight.
Yeah, George Kataris with 3 RBIs, all of them coming on outs. Drove in a run with a ground ball. That was yesterday. And a ground out and a fly ball today. That's the way to get it done.
Five 5-3 Cubs. Here's Randy Wolf with 2 away. And Wolf swings at the first pitch, headed for the seats. About 3 rows up.
Look at Morgan. Morgan's at third base on a foul ball.
Just for the fun of it.
Let's do a split screen on Aramis Ramirez and Nigel Morgan running the bases.
Yeah, Ramirez didn't really want to run on a pop-up in fair territory. Morgan sprinting around the bases when it's well into the seats. He's just getting loose.
Foul ball over the dugout.
It's a good observation, Rock. Nothing draws the ire of my partner than a lack of hustle.
Yeah. It doesn't take any ability to run and to hustle.
It's the only time I ever see you upset.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true. Ball and a strike on Wolf. You ask, the truck delivers. Look at Morgan.
The catcher going back for it over the dugout, and Nigel Morgan was just about at third base.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Man, when you can run like that, why not? Wolf hits one hard to center field. Marlon Byrd is back and to the wrong part of the ballpark. A long, loud out for Randy Wolf. And the inning is over. Brewers get a run. It is 5-3 Cubs as we go to the 5th. Miller Park, Milwaukee, 5-3. The Cubs lead the Brewers. Some news and notes around Major League Baseball today. Dustin Pedroia helping the Red Sox to their first one of the season. Pedroia had a first-inning home run. He drove in 3 with 3 hits today. Max Scherzer picking up the victory against Kansas City. And how about Carl Pavano? 8 strong innings, just 1 earned run as the Twins beat the Oakland Athletics today.
Yeah, 2 in the bottom of the 8th for the Twins. Win their home opener.
Marlon Byrd will lead off for the Cubs. Into right field off the end of the bat. And Morgan makes a catch. 1 gone in the top of the 5th. Randy Wolf needs a bounce back inning here after surrendering 5 runs on 4 hits in the 4th inning. 2 of those hits home runs.
Yeah, 3 of those runs unearned. Small consolation for Randy Wolf.
Ramirez out to Betancourt. He bobbles. Got plenty of time though. The out is recorded. Just taking a look at my partner. Should have seen the look he just gave me. 2 gone in the inning.
That ball was hit hard, and Betancourt able to keep it in front of him. And that's all I have to say about that play.
Oh, two outs for Soto.
Everybody has their pet peeves,
I'm telling you.
I mean, you have yours.
I do.
Certain things really irritate me.
Right to, Weeks got handcuffed, and Soto is going to reach. Boy, the Brewers had him positioned perfectly.
Yep.
But it was hit so hard that Weeks cannot make the play.
It looked like the ball was squared up so well. The ball was knuckling out to Ricky. It kind of fooled him a little bit, knocked it down, but Soto with a base hit. Hey, how about this defensive alignment right here? Right at him. The ball moves just a little bit on Ricky and got him on the heel of the glove for a base hit.
Tough night defensively for Ricky Weeks. Committed an error in the 4th inning that opened up a 5-run frame. That would aid him up. So a hit for Soto, and that brings the dangerous Carlos Pena to the plate. There's that slow curve. That's been a tough pitch for Pena. Actually, they've just changed that. Maybe they didn't change it at all. It wasn't posted, but it is now ruled an error on Weeks. His 2nd error of the game. Another curveball in there for a strike.
And throw him another one. This time bounce it in the dirt. You want to leave it up in the zone.
Wolf has 5 strikeouts. Back to the breaking ball here. The 0-2. And it's popped up. Weeks is back. Morgan coming in fast, and he'll make the call. And the out is recorded. The side retired. Scoreless inning for Randy Wolf. Good bounce back. Down for the Cubs, top of the order for the Brewers in a 5-3 Chicago lead. All 5 runs for the Cubs coming in the 4th. Our Subway trivia question tonight, prior to Carlos Zambrano, who threw the last no-hitter in Milwaukee? Good question. Give you a hint. You got to go back to the 70s. Find the last no-hitter in Milwaukee, I believe. Quickly 0-2 on Weeks. The Brewers have had just one no-hitter in franchise history. Caught by Bill Schroeder. That was on the road. Juan Nieves has the only no-hitter.
On tax day, April 15th, 1987.
There have been a handful of no-hitters in Milwaukee, and Zambrano is on that list in a game that was originally rained out, or actually I guess the best way to put it, the hurricane that came through southeast Texas rendered the home of the Houston Astros unplayable. It was a home game for the Astros here in Miller Park, with mostly Cubs fans in attendance. Weeks back up the middle of base hit. They kept feeding him the breaking balls, and Weeks finally delivers with a hit and a leadoff man aboard for the Crew in the 5th.
Yeah, Ricky doing a nice job staying on that cut fastball. There it is. You see the way it moves just as it gets to the cut out of the dirt. Ricky tries to pull that one. It's an easy out, but he stays back on it and just flicks it into center field. A good piece of hitting by Ricky.
Now it's Gomez. And he squares, not a bad idea.
Man.
Created his own chin music. That's the kind of swing the Brewers are looking for out of Gomez right there. Just a nice short compact stroke. In control, in balance. He's got plenty of power. He doesn't need to swing for the fences.
Right.
Got a base hit his last time up to right field.
Gomez trying to show bunt to draw the infield in, but I don't think they were in belief that he was going to do it. He had a good pitch to hit, and because his bat was moving all over the place, he couldn't get the head out.
Sometimes you just got to act like you've been there before. Ball and 2 strikes on Gomez. Count evens 2-2. Gomez looking for a mistake. Just got a piece. I know Carlos has been out the last couple of days early with Dale Swaim, or 2 of the last 3 days early work, trying to get back to the approach.
And laying off that high pitch and trying to shoot the ball right back through the middle.
We'll find out right here. 2-2. And fouls it away. That's it. That move right there is what he's trying to make a habit.
Keep that front shoulder closed. Down and through and trying to drive it back through the middle. Not the uppercut.
Well, this is turning out to be a great at bat from Gomez as the pitch count continues to rise for Zambrano. He cannot put him away.
8th pitch of this at bat for Carlos Gomez, making him work.
This will be pitch number 90 for Zambrano. Laid off. Top pitch. He takes it and works it full. And a frustrated Zambrano back to the drawing board.
I don't blame him. Wow. Tough pitch to take.
See if Weeks takes off. 3-2. He stays put and a swing and a miss. So Gomez battled but strikes out. Zambrano back to the fastball. First out of the inning.
Yep, elevated the fastball, and that was a four-seamer. Hadn't thrown too many of those. Throws it right by him. 10-pitch at bat for Gomez.
And if nothing else, it is going to force Mike Quade into the bullpen a little sooner than he had hoped. 91 pitches for Zambrano. Here's Braun now with Weeks over at first. Tying run at the plate. And Braun just missed one. Pops it up, shallow left. Castro makes a catch for out number 2.
Hey, Brewers fans, want a free terrace level game ticket and complete a BP Come On Back card by making 7 purchases of 8 or more gallons of gas at participating BP gas stations. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com for details.
2 gone for Zambrano, and now it's Fielder. Prince homered in the second inning. He's 1 for 2. Hit one deep for an out his last time up. See the shift that Fielder deals with.
And pretty straight up in the outfield. A very dramatic shift in the infield.
Now with Ricky Weeks' speed at first, he should score on anything down a line or in the gap.
It's kind of interesting that they have a big shift, expecting Prince to pull the ball on the ground, but Marlon Byrd is shaded around toward left a little bit. You can see it right there. Shaded around toward left in center field.
See if he gets something to hit. The 2-0, and Fielder chase one. A little over anxious at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Zambrano, see if he would chase again. He did not. And it's 3-1. Casey McGee would be next. Full count. Tying run at the plate. Bottom of the 5th. Fielder had a good cut.
Best velocity that Zambrano was shown tonight, 92 miles an hour. Up and in on Prince. Reaching back for a little bit extra, and Prince able to get a piece of it.
Weeks will take off with the pitch. There he goes. Fielder takes a ball inside. Good at bat for Prince Fielder. And now suddenly the Brewers with 2 on and 2 out. Casey McGee coming up. It has been a taxing inning here for Carlos Zambrano. Deep count to Weeks, who delivered with a hit. Carlos Gomez saw 10 pitches. And then a long battle with Fielder. Pitch count continues to rise. And he's had to reach back a little bit in this inning. On the corner, a strike. Zambrano struck out McGee in the 4th. Casey walked and scored in the 2nd.
Well, 2 cutters and a slider, and Casey finds himself down 1 and 2. He used to be able to predict what Zambrano's going to throw at any given time, but these days you can't. He's got so many different pitches at different speeds. It's very difficult to predict what he's going to throw to you.
McGee into right field. That's down for a hit. Weeks around third. He will score. Casey McGee delivers with a 2-out RBI single. And the Brewers are within a run. Just some great at-bats in this inning.
Yeah, well, sometimes you don't expect a fastball right down the middle on a 1-2 count. Well, Zambrano started him out with 2 cutters. The first one a little bit off the corner. The second one catches the edge. Then it gives him the slider. That's the true slider. Now you get the fastball right down the middle. It's supposed to be on the corner, and Casey hits it hard to right.
Betancourt, a ground ball to Castro. The inning is over. But Casey McGee brings the crew within a run. 5-4 Cubs. We go to the 6th. Electronics and appliances, bring it home. And by the Miller Lite Vortex bottle. Taste greatness. Well, the Brewers jumped out with the early lead. The Cubs answered with 5 runs in the 4th, and the Brew Crew chipping away in the last 2 innings. 5-4 Chicago. Bottom of the order coming up for the Cubs. Soriano, Colvin, and Zambrano. Randy Wolf coming off a scoreless 5th inning. Soriano had a hit and scored a run in the 4th inning, the 5-run Chicago 4th. I saw where the Atlanta Braves, who were shut down for the most part by Brewer pitching, they put 6 on the board against Cliff Lee tonight, and they lead 6-3 over the Phillies in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Atlanta goes back for their home opener and chase Cliff Lee after 3 1/3. 10 hits against Lee and 6 earned runs.
And you would figure the Atlanta Braves would have a tough time against lefties because a lot of their big hitters are left-handed. You got Hayward, a lefty. You got McCann, a lefty. Chipper much better from the left side. There's no figuring sometimes this game.
Soriano, another base hit. That's his 2nd hit of the game, and almost an identical landing for Soriano in left field. He's 2 for 3. Our Subway trivia tonight, we're talking about no-hitters in Milwaukee prior to Carlos Zambrano, who threw the last no-hitter in Milwaukee. You know this one, Rock?
Steve Busby.
1974. He was pitching for the Kansas City Royals against the American League version of the Brewers. But the others came as the Milwaukee Braves were here. Spahn had a couple. Lou Burdett.
Only one against the Brewers. Or a team from Milwaukee. Warren Spahn was some kind of pitcher. Goodness.
2 no-nos for the Milwaukee Braves.
Talking about a good hitting pitcher.
Yeah.
One of the best.
It's always great hearing Bob Uecker tell stories about Warren Spahn. The great Braves teams of the 50s. Back-to-back appearances in the World Series in that 57 World Series championship. They beat the Yankees that year. In the dirt, Soriano is on the move, and a wild pitch puts a Cub in scoring position.
Well, George was able to get there, just not able to square himself enough to be able to keep it in front of him. Got it with the shin guard, and anytime it hits that plastic shin guard, you never know where it's going to go.
Out to Betancourt. Got to hurry here. The throw is just in time to get Colvin on a jam shot by Tyler Colvin. First out of the inning. Well, we're talking about no hitters. There he is, Juan Nieves, 1987 tax day against the Baltimore Orioles. I think that was John Shelby right there, was it not?
He was in the lineup.
The Brewers' eye in the sky and outfield coach. Have to bring that up a little later. How about this for a catch?
Yeah.
The kid laying out for one, preserving the no-hitter, caught by Bill Schroeder. And Juan Nieves was so excited about the no-hitter. There's T-Bone. The eye in the sky. That's what an eye in the sky does during a game.
Right. Takes notes. Keeping an eye on the defensive alignment for his outfielders, watching them as they prepare for each pitch. Infield, outfield, just trying to figure out better ways of defense.
Longtime Oriole. John Shelby was a world champion with the Dodgers. He was on that '88 World Championship team. Spent the last 3 years in Baltimore as the first base coach. He remembers that day well. Juan Nieves. Zambrano takes a cut and a miss at a curveball. Now, if you were the eye in the sky scouting John Shelby as a player, what would be your alignment for John Shelby? You remember the scouting report?
I would play him around in the outfield a little bit to the opposite field because we used to try and pound him inside. He was pretty good at taking the ball the other way. He was a switch hitter.
It's amazing how you can remember that. Slow roller. Soriano started, then stopped. Well, the Brewers catch a break.
Yeah.
Soriano could have scored, but he decided to stop, and the second out of the inning.
No, if you don't go right away, you got to stay because he would have been an easy out once he hesitated. These are the kind of plays that the Brewers have been very aggressive with. When they are on the bases, when they're at third base, they are taking off. Sometimes they're getting thrown out, sometimes they're not, but they're taking the risk. That's why the Brewers have had so many very close plays and collisions at home plate so far this year.
Hey, don't forget, the best golfers in the world compete this weekend for the green jacket on CBS 58 in the Masters. This Saturday and Sunday, CBS 58. A tradition unlike any other.
A good time for a discussion between Rick Kranitz and Randy Wolf. Jeff Baker's had some pretty good swings on Randy Wolf since the first inning strikeout. Well, you'd love to be able to keep Soriano at third base and end this inning.
After a leadoff single and a wild pitch, put him at second base. Baker had a big home run last time up. That one is ripped down the left field line, and immediately Baker delivers an RBI single on the first pitch. He has 3 hits against Randy Wolf, and the Cubs get their run back. It is 6-4 Chicago.
That first pitch swing, I mean, it really doesn't matter what you throw the guy. Hey, remember him last year. I mean, coming over, seemed like anything you throw this guy is going to get a bat on. That was a curveball down and in. I mean, how do you look for a curveball on the first pitch? He did, and he ripped it into left field.
4 runs batted in for Baker on a 3-hit night. 6-4 Cubs, still 2 out. Here's Starlin Castro, who has been the hottest of the Cubs at the plate. The youngest player in the major league, Starlin Castro, just turned 21 on the 24th of March, and the reigning player of the week for the Cubs in the National League. Off the hands, Weeks goes up the ladder to make the catch, and the side retired, but Chicago tacks one on. Jeff Baker with an RBI single. 6-4 Cubs. The Brewers are coming to bat. facing Nigel Morgan. Well, Zambrano is nearing the end. Mike Quade trying to get him through this 6th inning. But Zambrano pitches in the 6th inning with double barrel action in the Cubs bullpen.
Yeah, first time out against the Pirates, he threw 99 pitches.
Down the left field line, Soriano's got a long way to go, and he'll run it down in foul territory. Nice catch, Alfonso Soriano, for out number 1.
Yeah, they had him played perfectly, shallow and over toward the left field line. That's why he was able to get there so easily. So the Cubs eye in the sky doing a good job. Whoever that might be.
Here's Kataris now with 1 away. In the air to Soriano. Much easier play this time. 2 outs. 2 quick outs for Zambrano. Just when you think he's on the ropes. With Russell and Mateo loosening in the bullpen. The night is over for Randy Wolf. Jeremy Reed will pinch hit for Randy Wolf. Wolf goes 6, gives up 6 runs. 2 earned runs. Jeremy Reed hasn't played much. Only 4 at-bats, all in a pinch hitting role. And a bouncer out to Jeff Baker. Zambrano, a 3-up, 3-down inning. 6-4 Cubs lead it.
Giovanni Soto in the 4th, after an error, put Ramirez on base, tied it up, and then Jeff Baker, a 3-run shot to give the Cubs a 5-2 lead. Brewers trying to come back. George Kataris with his 3rd RBI, all coming on outs. Casey McGee drives in a run with 2 outs to bring the crew to within run, but I tell you, Carlos Zambrano looking pretty good, doing it in a fashion that we're not used to. Taking a little off, adding a little, a lot of movement going in and out to right-handed batters. So Zambrano, through 6 innings, got a 2-run lead.
Zambrano is probably done for the day. Acknowledging the home plate umpire. You see his numbers 6 innings, gives up 7 hits and 4 runs, all earned. And at this point, he is in line for the win. 6-4 Chicago. The new pitcher for the Brew Crew is Sean Green, the sidewinder, facing Marlon Byrd to start this 7th inning. The numbers for Sean Green appearing in his 3rd game.
He's given up 1 run in his first 2 appearances. A side-arming right-hander, very tough on right-handed batters, and first 3 batters in this inning all right-handed.
Marlon Byrd with a hit tonight. Got a double in the first. 1 for 3 at the plate. Bounced into a double play in the 3rd inning. Second year with the Cubs. Marlon Byrd coming from the Texas Rangers. Hard to believe this guy, when he was in college, weighed nearly 300 pounds. Can you believe that?
No.
It doesn't register.
I mean, I don't know where he could put it. Well, he's 6 feet, 245. I think 6 feet is a bit generous. You've seen him down on the field. Does he look 6 feet to you?
Everybody looks 6 feet to me, Rock. Maybe in his spikes.
Yeah, maybe.
He packs a punch, though. But Green ties him up. Boy, he just made a good hitter look uncomfortable at the plate.
Yeah, that slider from that arm angle, it just sweeps across home plate. It's down in the zone, and a very defensive swing by Marlon Byrd. You don't see that very often from Byrd.
First game of the series with the Cubs. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap back on Fox Sports Wisconsin for the next 2 games of this homestand. 5:30 airtime tomorrow for Brewers Live. In the air, center field, Gomez for the 2nd out as Aramis Ramirez is retired. The minor leagues got underway yesterday. The minor league system of the Brewers had a successful night, and starting pitching was the theme last night all across the Brewers minor league system. Amari Rivas earned the win in AAA Nashville. They beat New Orleans. Willie Peralta, 6 strong innings for AA Huntsville as they beat Jacksonville to get their season started. Kyle Heckathorn pitched well for Brevard County. And the game I watched a little bit of last night, the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers won their opener against Kane County. Austin Ross, 6 strong innings, just 1 run. So very good starting pitching.
Yeah, I saw a couple innings of that game.
Our buddy Jerry Augustine on the call last night. It's fun to listen to. Number of minor league rehab outings and efforts last night. Jonathan Lucroy was in action last night. LaTroy Hawkins is pitching tonight, or has pitched tonight, for Brevard County in the Florida State League. You see what he did. 2 innings, 4 strikeouts as Hawkins continues his comeback from shoulder surgery.
It'd be good to get LaTroy back in the fold, although the Brewer bullpen's been pretty good. You can't complain too much about the Brewers pitching the way they've started this year. They've had a couple of innings where they've given up some runs, but for the most part, they've done a nice job.
Well, it was nice to see the 2 guys who were battling for, that 5th starter spot, Amari Rivas and Willie Peralta, have good starts to their season after a rough spring training. Those are the 2 top pitching prospects, along with Mark Rogers in the Brewers minor league system. So they both get off to great starts. I believe Rogers is on the mound tonight for Nashville.
Jonathan Lucroy went 0 for 2, a couple of walks and a run scored on a rehab assignment. That was in Huntsville last night.
Lucroy broke his pinky finger. Likely to see him back with a big league club on the next road trip. Swing and a miss. Soto strikes out. Good inning for Sean Green. 3 up, 3 down with a couple of strikeouts. Stretch time in Milwaukee. The Brewers are down a pair. On television, The Big Bang Theory. The Big Bang Theory coming this fall to WMLW 5 times a week. Zambrano is out. Our Feldco call to the bullpen. Left-hander Sean Marshall.
Yeah, 4th appearance for Marshall at 386 earned run average so far this year. No walks, a couple of strikeouts. Big, tall left-hander. He's 6'7", 205 pounds. A very good year for the Cubs last year. 80 appearances and a 2.65 earned run average, all out of the bullpen.
Cubs feel like their late bullpen is a strength with Marshall and Kerry Wood and the closer Carlos Marmol. Top of the order coming up. The Brewers trying to come back here. 6-4 Cubs. Weeks, Gomez, and Braun. First 3 up against Marshall. That is a good-looking curveball from Marshall. He has great stuff.
Yeah, big overhand curveball. Spots his fastball pretty well. He'll throw a slider to left-handers. Throws a lot of strikes.
You might have read his lips there. He said, "Go up." See if Weeks will chase one. He did not. Wants another one up there. Oh, got away with one.
How often does that work? I mean, honestly.
When a catcher stands up?
Yeah, and he puts a high sign up there. I mean, is this where Soto wants his pitch? That's right down the middle. Ooh.
Got him with a curve. So Weeks down on strikes. Nice piece of pitching there by Marshall.
Hey, Ricky had his pitch to hit with 2 strikes. That fastball that was down the middle that Soto wanted up around the shoulders, and then he came back with a curveball in the dirt. Always are going to get 1 pitch to hit throughout in that bat. Ricky missed his.
That is the 6th strikeout for Cubs pitching tonight. They lead all of baseball in strikeouts as a staff. Gomez breaks his bat, and it's Baker to Pena for the 2nd out. There's Corey Hart. He had a day of positive results, full swings, full throws, and Ron Renicky passing it along earlier that he feels like he is taking the next step now. At some point, after a few rounds of batting practice, some defensive drills, Corey Hart will head out on a minor league rehabilitation assignment. That is a big bat the Brewers need back in their lineup, an all-star from a year ago.
Yeah, you bet you. A lot of power out of that lineup, some mobility in the outfield. Anytime you have your bench players starting, you're weakening your bench. To say nothing about missing Corey Hart in the lineup.
There's Kerry Wood. He's the 8th inning man, but just in case Marshall struggles the rest of this inning. See if Braun can get it going with 2 outs. Ryan is hitless so far. He's 0 for 2. He did walk, and he'd love to get Fielder a crack at Marshall in this 7th inning. The Cubs are used to these tight games. All 6 of the games they have played this year have been decided by 3 runs or less, and the Cubs are 3-3.
The Brewers aren't far from that themselves.
They've all been tight outside that blowout in Cincinnati last Sunday. The 1-2 to Braun. Count remains the same. Nice play. Marshall snags it. 1-2-3 inning. Braun hit it hard, but a good play by the tall left-hander. We go to the 8th.
Head to the 8th inning. April 25th is singles night presented by OnMilwaukee.com. Buy a due-deck ticket. That includes a buffet and 2 drinks per person, plus meet other single Brewers fans. Visit Brewers.com/singles.
Sean Green back on the mound for the Crew. Had a scoreless 7th inning, a 3-up, 3-down inning. trying to keep it at a 6-4 score. Cubs with a 5-run fourth inning. There's Zach Braddock. In the Brewers bottom of the 8th, Prince Fielder will lead off, then McGee, then Betancourt, middle of the order. And they will most likely face Kerry Wood. To the opposite field, Braun's got a long way to go, and he cannot get there. Base hit. Carlos Pena with a single.
Yeah, a little jam shot off the bat of Pena, but you know, you're playing deep with that big left-hander at the plate. You get that big swing, you freeze a little bit, and Ryan just couldn't get there.
First hit for Pena in his return to the lineup. Missed a couple of games with a sprained thumb. And now Soriano. Soriano with 2 hits, both against Randy Wolf, 2 for 3. And scored twice. Into right, Niger Morgan right there for it. That one had some slice on it as Morgan makes a catch for out number 1.
These guys don't mess around at the plate, do they? A lot of first pitch swings. A lot. Just about up and down that lineup. Well, you get a pitch you like. Ordinarily a pitcher's going to try and get ahead. Why waste it? Go after it. Soriano hit it right on the nose.
Well, with the left-hander coming up, Colvin, Ron Renicky is headed to the mound. He has Braddock ready in the bullpen. And Renicky will make the call for the left-hander. So Sean Green gets 4 outs, gives up a single. And a pitching change here at Miller Park. We'll take a break. We'll set up Zach Braddock.
For. And each pitch is each pitch, and going through all the work on the side, and that, you know, comes down to trust, and each pitch is what I have at that time. That's my tool, that's my arsenal, you know, that's my bullet to get him out.
The philosophical Zach Braddock, the 23-year-old left-hander, and he is on to face Tyler Colvin, his 4th appearance of the season. Had a good start to the season for Zach Braddock.
Did you ask him that question? He looked a little irritated with it.
That wasn't me. But he was kind of scary, though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was pretty intense. Look at his CSI interrogation. But Braddock's been very good so far this year. His first 3 appearances has not allowed a run.
6-4 Cubs, 1 out, 8th inning. And it's Colvin who is hitless tonight. He's 0 for 3. Popped him up, and that's headed for the seats. He has faced Braddock twice with a strikeout. A lot of concern about Braddock's velocity out of spring training. Many feel that velocity will come. He's thrown a good breaking ball to start the season.
Now, you can talk all you want about velocity, and you'd like to be able to throw 94 to 96, but I'll tell you, he's throwing right now. That last pitch at 92 is very well located, right on the outside corner, down in the zone. Maybe it's by design. Who knows? You know, less velocity, but more control, more location. What would you rather have, right?
Runner goes, and that one's hit hard right field. Morgan in the corner, and he's got it. Retreating to first is Pena. Nigel Morgan stayed with it all the way as Colvin just missed it. Second out of the inning.
That popped it straight up. It was amazing that ball didn't hook at all. It went right down that right field line. Ended up being a fair ball.
Morgan still familiarizing himself with his new surroundings. And that large warning track here at Miller Park. See a lot of visiting outfielders jump early on that warning track. It's a lot bigger here at Miller Park than most places.
About 25 feet wide.
So 2 gone. Pena still at first. Reed Johnson is the pinch hitter. And a strike from Braddock.
Now, you talk to outfielders, they'll tell you that that warning track, as they sprint to the wall, is about 2 strides longer than most.
It's a 5-stepper.
And when this park first opened, you did see a lot of visiting outfielders jump a little bit too soon, lose their footing. Not anymore, though.
The book is out. There's the extra wide warning track. 0-2 the count on Johnson. Got him. Braddock strikes out Reed Johnson, inning over. And a scoreless inning for the Brewers bullpen. Prince Fielder will lead off when we come back. 6-4 Cubs. Eighth inning, our Usingers game summary. Fielder with his first home run of the season back in the second inning. And then after a little small ball, it was a walk, a bunt, And a ground ball out for run number 2. The Cubs exploded in the 4th. A 5-run inning, 2-run shot by Soto, 3-run home run with 2 outs from Jeff Baker. And the Brewers added one in the 4th inning. Second RBI of the game for Qataris. Casey McGee had an RBI single, a 2-out hit in the 5th. And that's where we are, 6-4. Chicago. Zambrano in line for the win. Randy Wolf on the hook for the loss at this point. Brewers need some late magic. And it's the Cubs setup man, Kerry Wood, back in a Cubs uniform again. He's come full circle in his career after finishing the season with the Yankees last season. Fielder not pleased with the strike call of C.B. Buckner.
Now, Kerry Wood has been featuring fastball cutter these days. There's that cut fastball. Kind of interesting that Wood and Marmol have flip-flopped these days. It was Kerry Wood closing, Marmol setting up when they were together. Now it's just the opposite.
Fielder down the left field line. Soriano on the track. Out number 1. Well, Fielder has just missed a couple.
He's done a nice job tonight tomahawking some high fastballs and just not able to get enough of them to knock it out of here.
1 out for Kerry Wood. He'll face Casey McGee. Wood began his career as a starting pitcher for the Cubs. Now 34 years of age. Bouncing ball. This is Baker. 2 gone. Wood started to throw a cut fastball with the Indians, but then he got to New York last year in a trade deadline deal that sent him to the Yankees, and just almost by osmosis, hanging around Mariano Rivera, your cutter immediately gets better.
Right.
He was fantastic for New York last year. Had an ERA in 24 games, 0.69 with the Yankees.
Yep, 31 strikeouts in 26 innings. Used to have that big sweeping slider that pitched very tough on the elbow, and he decided not to throw that anymore. Takes a lot out of you, that pitch he used to throw. The power slider.
Led the major leagues in strikeouts during that run as a starter back at 03. Had 266 Ks. Then they made him a closer. A lot of injuries. Remember when the Cubs had Kerry Wood and Mark Pryor in the big leagues? They thought they had 2 aces for the next decade. But injuries took their toll. 1-2 to Betancourt. He steps out. Brewers need a base runner. Down a pair. 8th inning. Into right. The final out of the inning. He hit it hard, but right at Coleman, and Kerry Wood a 3-up, 3-down inning. Well, tonight the Brewers hand out a couple of Silver Slugger awards from last year to Giovanni Gallardo and Ryan Braun. They've slugged a little. The Cubs have slugged more. 6-4 Chicago as we go to the ninth. Cubs have out hit the Brewers 10-7. And Braddock will stay on to pitch. Cubs go back to the top of their order, and Jeff Baker, who has not been in the batter's box long in each of his 4 at-bats. He's been hacking early. And a great night tonight. 3 hits, 4 of the 6 runs driven in for Baker. The big blow in this game was Baker's 3-run home run in the 4th. That came with 2 outs. And another base hit. His 4th hit of the game.
Yeah, good piece of hitting by Baker. When you're hot, you're hot. It doesn't matter what they throw you, who it is that's pitching. Check this out. Look at that pitch, up and away, gets on top of it and hits a bullet into right.
Ties a career high for Baker. The 5th time he's collected 4 hits in a major league game. 3 singles and a home run, and he's at first with nobody out. Starlin Castro. It's a tough enough hill to climb against Carlos Marmol down 2. So imperative that Braddock keeps the Cubs at bay in this 9th inning. It's one of the best closers in the game right there, Carlos Marmol.
Yep, and Braddock's got to go through the top of this order.
Castro has a hit tonight. He's 1 for 4. Hit a soft liner to Ricky Weeks his last time up. Cubs don't run much. Matter of fact, they're the only team remaining in Major League Baseball without a stolen base. They're pretty much station to station, which is good in a spot like this because it offers the opportunity of a double play.
Man, Zach Braddock really doesn't have to much worry about the base runner. Maybe give a token throw over there once in a while. Doesn't have to do the slide step. Not to say that he's not going to take off anyway, but chances are he's not going anywhere, so don't worry about him. Concentrate on the hitter.
Sergio Mitre loosening just in case. Looking at some of the numbers on Starlin Castro, who really caught fire after the All-Star break last year, his rookie season. And since the All-Star break of last year, Castro the 4th most hits in baseball. Ryan Braun's on that list. Gives you an idea of a young player settling in, learning his strike zone, and an impact bat to go along with a great glove at short. Popped him up. Ricky Weeks wants it. And the first out of the inning. If you're wondering, Carlos Gonzalez and Jose Tabata of the Pirates have the most hits since the All-Star break last year. Many feel Carlos Gonzalez is a candidate for the MVP award this year. He and his teammate Troy Tulowitzki.
Well, it was last year.
Yeah, made a run at the Triple Crown last year, Gonzalez. Now a left fielder for the Rockies. Marlon Byrd up there with 1 away.
Hey, Ron Renicky is showing a lot of confidence in Zach Braddock, the left-hander out there, going through the gauntlet of these right-handed batters. 5 in a row. The top 5 in the order. Not easy to get through for a lefty.
Renicky has stated that Braddock is a guy that you can leave in for multiple innings, while the other lefty in the bullpen, Mitch Stetter, is strictly a situational left-hander, a guy that would only come in to face a left-handed batter. Braddock's had a good fastball tonight, his best of the year so far.
Yeah, his best fastball was 93 miles an hour. He threw that one to Castro. But he's been sticking around, hovering around 90 to 92. That'll get it done if you keep it down in the zone.
The Brewers will have the bottom of the order coming up in the bottom of the ninth. Braddock trying to make sure they're still just down 2 runs. Bird doubled his first time up. He's 1 for 4. Into left center field. That is going to get to the gap. Braun's got to hurry now. Baker on his way to third. They're going to send him home. And a poor throw coming in. Baker will score. Marlon Byrd, an RBI double. 7-4 Chicago. That one hurts.
Yeah, Braddock gave him a fastball. It looked as though they were trying to come inside. And Braddock leaves it out over the plate, and Byrd finds a gap in left center. Boy, lefties trying to get through this Cubs order late in the ball game. A very slippery slope, and he's not done.
So Byrd delivers a big run for the Cubs. Ron Renicky will make the pitching change here with Ramirez coming up, and we will take a timeout. For Chicago, but a couple of defensive miscues as well that have led to runs. But Marlon Byrd drives in a big run with 1 out here in the ninth, and that forces Ron Renicky to go to Sergio Mitre out of the Brewers bullpen to face Aramis Ramirez.
Yeah, only his second appearance of the year, has not allowed a run. Last year with the Yankees, 27 appearances, 3 of them starts, and a .333 earned run average. A late spring training pickup for Ron Renicky. He's a right-hander that can give you, 2, 3, 4 innings. He's stretched out in spring training.
Byrd out at second, and it's Aramis Ramirez. "12 hits for the Cubs tonight. Mitre starts him with a breaking ball. Cubs and Brewers tomorrow on Fox Sports Wisconsin. It's Chris Narveson against Matt Garza. The other big off-season acquisition for the Chicago Cubs. Garza coming over from the Tampa Bay Rays. And then the finale on Sunday, it's Gallardo against Casey Coleman, who has been summoned from the minor leagues. Cubs have 2 pitchers on the disabled list, 2 starters, Randy Wells and Andrew Kashner. Both made 1 start and then immediately went on the DL after their first start of the season. Popped him up. Fielder wants it. And the second out of the inning.
A good slider by Mitre. He's got that slurvy slider. He's got a big break to it, a sweeping breaking ball to go along with a good sinker. Every now and again, he'll throw a changeup. But on the 2-0 count, he throws Ramirez a slider, and he gets him to pop it up.
Mitre against Giovanni Soto with 2 away. Mitre is a former Cub. He came up in the Cubs minor league system and spent parts of 3 seasons with the Cubs in the big leagues, his last being 05, before he was traded to the Marlins. That's where he knows Rick Kranitz. Kranitz was the minor league pitching coordinator and then ultimately the Cubs big league coach.
Well, you know, Mitre knows all about how to handle pressure pitching in New York with the Yankees. Good to know as you get through the season.
Served in a long relief spot starter role for Joe Girardi in the Yankees last year. Mitre was involved in that Juan Pierre trade prior to the 06 season. Marlins shipped Pierre to the Cubs for Mitre and a couple of other players, Reniel Pinto and Ricky Nolasco. And then Mitre was released. The Yankees signed him as an injured player. On the ground, Betancourt to his feet, long throw, fielder right there for him. Nice play, Yuniesky Betancourt. Inning over, the Brewers are now down 3. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Endings are imposed and inflicted. Finishes are earned and celebrated. It's the last word, the closing act, the final step, the whole point. We don't remember the start. We never forget the finish. And the Brewers are hoping for a little drama here tonight. They are down 3, and the Cubs will send out Carlos Marmol to the mound, their closer. And we take you back. Remember this? June 8th of last season, Casey McGee delivers with the walk-off single, scoring Ricky Weeks and Prince Fielder. The Brewers come all the way back, and the former Cub comes back to haunt his old team.
And a tough customer, Carlos Marmol. He's got a couple of saves so far this year. Actually, one save so far. Had 38 last year.
Nyjer Morgan, a little flare. That's falling fast. It's down for a hit. And a good start. Nyjer Morgan aboard with his second hit. He's 2 for 3 tonight. Didn't get much, but got enough. And one more base runner. The Brewers are going to bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, he throws hard. He's got one of those electric sliders like the one that Kerry Wood used to throw. He's thrown a lot for the Cubs. Been a lot of games in every single year.
There's a fastball in there to Kataris. Marmol blew a save on Sunday against Pittsburgh, but came right back and saved a game the very next day against the Diamondbacks. There's that slider Bill was referencing. Quickly 0-2 on Kataris with Counsell on deck. Kataris has 2 ribbies tonight, both on outs, a sac fly and a ground out. He's 0 for 2. When Marmol struggles, he struggles with his command and gives the opponent extra base runners.
Overuses the slider, gets behind and has to come in with a fastball.
That's what happened last June when the Brewers came back on him. Kataris rips it foul.
There's an example right there. 92. He's usually a little bit more velocity than that. I mean, Carlos Marmol consistently 95, 96 miles an hour. Missed with a couple of breaking pitches. Kataris looking for fastball and able to pull it.
Full count to Kataris. 5 blown saves last year. One of those to the crew. Boy, this is a big pitch right here. The Brewers are down 3. They need one more base runner to bring the tying run up. And he missed ball 4. A hit and a walk. And just like that, the Brewers will have a chance, and immediately Ron Renicky pulls Counsell back and sends out Mark Kotsay.
Hey, you want somebody that can knock one out of here. That's the difference. Had George not gotten on base, Renicky would have sent Counsell up to hopefully be a base runner, then somebody knock one out. Well, now the tying run coming to the plate.
So here's Kotsay, and this is what he was hired to do. Late inning at bats with the game on the line. This is one of the areas where the Brewers, because Nyjer Morgan has had so much success, are strengthened a little bit. It gives Renicky that power bat off the bench in Kotsay. Slider for a strike.
Boy, one after the other, right? Now the 3-2 pitch to Kataris was a slider. He missed badly. Just doesn't trust that fastball. That's what gets him in trouble. Another one.
Outstanding pinch hitting numbers over his career. Does not have an official at bat against Carlos Marmol, incidentally.
Had a very good pitch to hit on that 1-1 count. Fastball down the middle, fouled it straight back.
Top of the order is next. Kotze down in the count, the 1-2, and a breaking ball strike. Perfect slider from Marmol on the back door. And a big out for the Cubs.
Well, you have high risk, you have high reward. This time he's able to throw it for a strike right on the corner. Not much Kotze would be able to do with that. But Mark had his pitch to hit. He had that 1-1 fastball that he fouled straight back.
Now it's Weeks. Ricky is 1 for 4 today, a couple of strikeouts. Marmol's been tough on Weeks. He's tough on most right-handers. See the career numbers, just 2 hits and 14 at-bats. Gomez next, and then Braun. Thing about Marmol, he'll throw the slider in any count.
Yeah. 2-0, probably a slider count for him. He throws it every other pitch. Why would he go with a fastball here? Ricky's looking for it. He threw the slider. He caught the inside corner with it. 81 miles an hour. You see slider, you don't expect it inside.
Well, that didn't look like a strike. 2-1. 2 on, tying run at the plate, 9th inning. And a breaking ball missed. 3 balls and 1 strike. And the heat being turned up on Carlos Marmol. Outfielders very deep. And Weeks looks at a slider for a strike. Full count.
I guess there's no reason to think he's going to throw anything but a slider here. Full count. Been all sliders so far.
And another one in the air, right field, playable for Colvin. And the second out of the inning. So the Brewers down to their last out. And it's going to be Carlos Gomez. Carlos Gomez could pile up a brand new group of fans with a big bolt right here. Tying run at the plate. Braun is on deck. Gomez doing anything to get Braun to the plate.
Yeah, I'll take a bloop and a blast. How about a blast and one more hitter?
They'll ask if he went. No, he didn't. Check to swing. It's almost as if Marmol has you where he wants you when he's behind in the count. There's a fastball strike. 1-1. First fastball in a while. Fielder already gearing up, hoping for an at-bat. And a strike. 2-2. Brewers down to their last strike. Got him. Ball game over. Marmol picks up the save. Made it interesting. The Brewers brought the tying run to the plate. But Carlos Marmol retires the final 3 batters. And the Cubs win the opener of this 3-game series 7-4. Zambrano the winner. Randy Wolf the loser. Marmol with his 3rd save. Brewers baseball returns tomorrow to Fox Sports Wisconsin for Game 2 of this series. Coverage begins at 5:30. The Brewers are back on WMLW Wednesday night as they battle the Pirates in Pittsburgh. Coverage begins at 6.